Alright, you guys, so continuing on with the lesson here with graphing quadratics in factored form. Yesterday's lesson, this is actually part 2 of yesterday's lesson. I did show you guys how to solve for these problems by hand. Once again, if we are solving this by hand, the first step we have to do is find our x-intercepts. And in order to do that, we have to make our x's, in this case, equal to each other. So the binomial, x minus a 2 equal to 0. And also x equal to 0. So in this case, I would have an x-intercept at 2 because once again, we're adding 2 to both sides. That gives me x equals 2. And we're going to have another x-intercept at 0. So if I were to plot these points, this would be the point 2, 0 and 0, 0. Now from there, our next step would be to find the vertex. But the vertex here is broken up into 2 separate sections, where in this case we're looking for our x-coordinate of the vertex. Coordinate. And we're also going to be looking for the y-coordinate. In order for us to look for the x-coordinate, we actually have to add both of the x's and then divide it by 2 because we have 2 of them. So that would be 2 plus a 0 divided by 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 over 2 is a 1. So then value for the vertex here, the x-coordinate is 1. So all we have to do is find y. So once again, x here equals 1. So our next step is to find the y-coordinate. And in order for us to find the y-coordinate, once again, we have to substitute this new value of x into all the x's in the original equation. So in this case, we should be substituting here and there. So let's go ahead and do that here on the bottom. See if it fits. Sit in black. And we're going to go ahead and do g of 1 equals negative 6 times 1 minus 2 times a 1. So then negative 6, 1 minus a 2 is a negative 1. Negative 1 times a 1. Not sure if you guys can see it. And then negative 1 times a 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times a negative 6 is a positive 6. So in this case, our vertex is found at the point 1, 6. And we have our x-intercepts. So let's go ahead and plot that, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go 1 to the right and 6 up. That's where my vertex is. And my x-intercepts in this case would be this other one. So if I go to 2, 0, it automatically takes me to 0, 0 there. Now, this is once again, this is a long process here. Short process in this case, guys, is actually graphing this. So go ahead and open up the DESMOS scientific calculator. No, not scientific. DESMOS graphing. So go on to DESMOS graphing calculator. To graph the equation. So in this case, this is actually my DESMOS. I brought it up. I'm going to go ahead and type in that equation. We're going to go ahead and type in y equals, I could put g of x, but I'm just going to put y. Once again, g of x, f of x, fancy way of saying y, equals a negative 6 times x minus 2, close parentheses and open parentheses again, x. All right, so here is our graph, guys. Here is our graph. And if you actually click on the graph, it's going to give you some points. Let me actually make this. Okay, there you go. So if you click once again on the graph here, guys, click on it. It's going to give you some great points. Those points are either going to be your x-intercepts, y-intercept, your vertex. Notice in this case, my vertex is 1, 6, which is what I had gotten on this side. 1, 6. And my x-intercepts are at 2, 0, and 0, 0. So another way you guys could actually do this lesson here is actually just graphing your equations on DESMOS and plotting your points. All right. So that's another way for you guys to solve it. So let's go ahead and check. Let me move this to the side. Let's check. I got that correct.